Well, hey guys, today let's talk about the best skincare products for combination skin. Combination skin, is it real? Is it fake? Yes and no. All right, combination skin is this concept that you see a lot in skincare marketing, like that this cleanser is for combination skin. You've got areas, say on your face, that are dry and flaky, but other areas where it seems like it's very oily. So you don't really fall into the oily skin, you don't really fall into the dry skin, you are somewhere in between, you have both things going on, you get labeled as having combination skin. But in my experience, in my, what I'm thinking about as a dermatologist, there are a lot of skin conditions where you have oiliness and you also have patches of dry, flaky skin. For example, seborrheic dermatitis is a chronic inflammatory skin condition that comes and goes, affects hair-bearing areas like your eyebrows, your face, anywhere where you have hair follicles. If you have a deeper skin tone, it can leave the skin discolored, take away the skin color. It's called hypopigmentation. And seborrheic dermatitis, you have a lot of oiliness too. So it looks dry, it looks flaky, but it's also oily and greasy at the same time. Then you have rosacea, a skin condition where you have sensitivity, burning, stinging, you get flushing, redness, maybe you have red bumps. Some of those red bumps get full of pus. And you can also have areas of the skin, though, with rosacea that are oily. And so you don't really know where you fall in that category. Also, contact dermatitis. Contact dermatitis is basically an eczema related to things that come in contact with the skin, either because they're irritating to your skin or because you are allergic to them. So it's important to kind of have an understanding that there could be some things going on explaining why you have combination skin. A lot of people might feel as though they're developing combination skin when they get into experimenting with a lot of skincare products. Certain skincare products can end up leading to a lot of dryness and irritation, but you may be someone who has a background of more oily skin. Oiliness can be worsened with hormonal influences related to your menstrual cycle. So, you may be drying out your skin in one regard, but, areas of the face where you have more oil glands are making more oil as it relates to your hormones, or maybe you're really stressed out, and that can give the appearance of combination skin. Things that can, give the appearance of combination skin in your skincare routine are, certain exfoliants can be very drying when used excessively. Over cleansing can dry out the face and lead to dry, flaky patches, but it doesn't really do anything for the rate of oil production. The oiliness looks, more obvious in a background of dry skin. So that gives the appearance of combination skin. So all that being said, like when we think about the best skincare products for combination skin, I've got to tell you, to be frank, there's nothing for or against combination skin per se with regards to skincare, and there's no general consensus on what the best cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen for people who are dealing with these issues. Because again, it's going to boil down to, the root cause. But in general, some tips that I can give you in terms of how to build your skincare routine: obviously keep things simple. Adding more things to your routine can only exacerbate some of the issues related to combination skin, right? Like adding more serums may just irritate your skin more and lead to more patches of dryness while doing nothing for the oiliness. And a lot of it's going to depend on what you like and what your skin responds to well. So when it comes to cleansing, a few things. How frequently you do it can make a difference for you. 1 to 2 times a day is a general rule when it comes to cleansing. Now, if you're somebody who is getting a lot of dryness and irritation, then you may want to back down to cleansing only once a day. But if you're somebody who has oily patches, you may find that cleansing twice a day is actually more what you need. Like, for example, if you have seborrhea and you've got those patches of flakiness, well, cleansing more frequently might actually be exactly what you need. Whereas if you have rosacea, cleansing just once a day may really help even out your overall complexion a lot better than twice a day. The twice a day cleansing may be too taxing for the skin barrier. If you have contact dermatitis to your cleanser, well, certainly cleansing multiple times a day is not going to help. But you do need to be doing some kind of cleansing to remove dirt, oil, particulate matter, things that otherwise left on the skin would be very irritating. When it comes to cleansers, again, there's no one specific ingredient or formulation that is for or against combination skin. But I would say there are cleansers, however, that are more ideally suited to the oilier spectrum and cleansers that are more ideally suited to the dry spectrum. So if you have combination skin, I think those extreme cleansing needs are not really going to suit you. For example, some cleansers marketed to people with oily skin, they tend to be a bit more robust, if you will, in their oil stripping abilities, which people with oily skin really appreciate. But for you, with the other patches of dryness, that may be too much. Likewise, the creamy, mild cleansers for people with dry, sensitive skin, they may not be adequate enough to do what you need to do. I find that cleansers that are more of a gel formula are really great for people who are dealing with combination skin. They're kind of just right. And these are just some cleansers that personally I have used, which I often think as I'm using them, I think this would be a good cleanser for pretty much any skin type, including combination skin. I am a huge fan of Neutrogena's Hydro Boost fragrance-free cleanser. I've been using it for a couple of years now. It's really mild. It generates a nice silky lather. It's free of fragrance. It has hyaluronic acid. It will help balance out the moisture content in the skin and help reduce dryness and irritation from cleansing, but it does a good job removing excess oil from the skin surface. Recently, I started using a new Korean cleanser that I shared with you guys in like my vlogs. It's by Haru Haru. They have a black rice gel cleanser that is really nice, free of fragrance, very silky, mild, pleasure to use, gentle around the eyes, but it does a good job removing excess oiliness. I like using that in the morning. And then the third that I've been using recently a lot too is the CeraVe Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser. You know, I don't find it to be like an oil, or I don't find it to be like a foam. I just find it to be more of a gel, honestly. It does a good job removing oil, gently exfoliating the skin, while also replenishing things like ceramides, hyaluronic acid in the skin to really just balance out overall moisture and not be too taxing on the moisture barrier. All three of these cleansers I genuinely think would be good for any skin type. If you're someone who wears water-resistant sunscreen or makeup, you may find that you do better using a cleansing oil or cleansing balm to break that up before coming in with one of these cleansers. Any cleansing oil or cleansing balm should be just fine because you're gonna rinse them off. You know, they're just there to get in and, you know, break up that film, and then you're gonna take them off with water and one of these mild cleansers. And you may not even need to do that. You know, in my experience, for example, the CeraVe Foaming Oil Cleanser actually takes off eye makeup really well and my water-resistant sunscreens. Then we have moisturizers. When it comes to moisturizing, some ingredients that I really think can be beneficial for a variety of potential reasons why you might have combination skin include niacinamide, which is something I feel like I mention in pretty much every video, but it's a really versatile ingredient that helps with redness, it helps with hyperpigmentation, and it helps cut down on oxidation of sebum, so it'll help in regards with those oily patches for reducing inflammation, and it helps with the moisture barrier, so it helps cut down on dry skin. Some people don't tolerate niacinamide, however, but there are alternatives out there that offer very nice benefits for the moisture content in the skin, as well as just balancing out skin hydration, if you will, and cutting down on inflammation and irritation. Soy is an ingredient that soybean extract, I think is underrated in skincare products. I don't see enough hype around soybean extract. Soybean extract has compounds in it, soy trypsin inhibitor and something called Bowman-Burke inhibitor. These are fancy names for compounds that basically help with hyperpigmentation. But soy extract is also anti-inflammatory. It has compounds called isoflavones that help combat oxidative stress in the skin. Soy also can improve skin elasticity, and that may help smooth out and help with moisture retention in the skin. Licorice root is another good one to consider. Licorice root is anti-inflammatory, or compounds from licorice root, I should say. Licorice root is anti-inflammatory. It helps with redness, and it also helps with hyperpigmentation, and its anti-inflammatory properties can be supportive of the needs of the moisture barrier to help with, you know, those of you who are prone to patches of dryness. Then an ingredient that I believe is underrated and can be found in moisturizers and serums is azelaic acid. Now, azelaic acid is a prescription medication where it's prescribed as a treatment for acne, for melasma, for hyperpigmentation, and for rosacea. But as a cosmetic ingredient, it can help with redness, hyperpigmentation. It may be beneficial for those of you who have more breakout blemish-prone skin. Check out my video on azelaic acid. I do a deep dive all about what it can offer. And one of the things that people who use azelaic acid often notice is that they feel like their skin is less greasy overall. So that may help you out too as far as the oiliness. But one of my favorites, which I actually have not mentioned in a couple of years, it feels like, because honestly I'm having a harder time finding it than I once did, but you can get it on Stylevana. It is a Japanese moisturizer by Sana, their soy milk extra moist gel. This has soybean protein, soybean seed extract, as well as licorice root, which again, another good ingredient. So you're getting the benefits from the soy and the licorice. It's a nice hydrating gel, but it's not too greasy or oily whatsoever. If you live near an H Mart or another Asian grocery store, they often carry these products there, I have noticed when I visit my local H Mart. All right, ProCure Rosacare is a lightweight hydrogel moisturizer that has licorice root and niacinamide in it. Good, again, for moisturizing the skin and cutting down on redness. Can really help with those patches of, you know, maybe oily, flaky skin, maybe related to seborrheic dermatitis, but also can help with rosacea, post-acne redness, hyperpigmentation. And this product has a green tint that can help offer some camouflage to redness. As far as azelaic acid, I would mention the Ordinary's azelaic acid suspension, which is one of the first skincare products with azelaic acid I ever encountered. Like I was almost in disbelief because I had really just never encountered azelaic acid as a cosmetic ingredient prior to the Ordinary. But I see it a lot more these days in products, which is good. It's a very useful ingredient. The Ordinary's azelaic acid suspension is good, but it is kind of thick and viscous. Some people don't like the consistency of it. You know, if you want something more lightweight, I would suggest Paula's Choice Azelaic Acid Booster. I really like this product a lot. It has azelaic acid and it also has licorice root and it has salicylic acid, which is going to be helpful for those of you who maybe have hyperpigmentation, discoloration. Salicylic acid is anti-inflammatory. And it also can help if you have combination skin with prominent pores because it will help exfoliate the pore and help with controlling blackheads. So that's another really good one. For those of you out there who have combination skin, you may have combination skin as a result of having oily skin plus having issues with your skin barrier. The two can be happening at the same time. Just having a lot of oil doesn't necessarily mean that you are not going to get dry and irritated. All right, let's talk sunscreen. Sunscreen is a really challenging area to navigate. To find a sunscreen that you like enough to wear can be quite difficult. Honestly, I'll be frank, I'm going to give you some that I think are good, that I have used personally, that I strongly encourage, that I've, you know, seen good results in people who have combination skin, but I guarantee a third of you out there will love these. They'll work great for you. A third of you will be like, I don't know. I think there could be something better. And a third of you will hate these sunscreens. The rule of thirds I find apply to, is this sunscreen any good? Type questions. So, all right, let's go in no particular order. Isnttree's Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel. I love this. It's a Korean sunscreen. It's very popular. It's popular for a reason. Like it's not 100% that everybody who uses it loves it, but a lot of people do. It's very comfortable to wear. It wears well under makeup. It's an organic sunscreen, aka chemical, but it has sunscreen ingredients that are not available in the US, but are very good for offering broad spectrum UV protection. It has Tinosorb S, Uvinol A+. It also has octisalate. In addition to broad spectrum UVA and UVB protection, it also has niacinamide, which, did I already mention that in this? It has centella, which is a botanic ingredient that can be anti-inflammatory, and it has ceramide, which is good for the moisture barrier. I have this neurosensory experience with the Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel where I almost in my brain make this like connection of like, I can almost feel the burst of hydration into my skin, improving moisture content. So I get a very, it's a very pleasant experience for me. There is a huge component of a neurocutaneous sensory experience that really, dictates whether or not a product will work for one person or another, as much as the product just being good or not, is if, it resonates with somehow the skin-brain axis. And that is one thing that, is specific to me and, may not translate to other people. But it actually, as floofy and hand-wavy as it sounds, it makes a difference because it, the brain-skin axis is real. Your brain signals stress, so stress hormones feed into your skin. So it's an intimate interaction, and the way skincare products feel to you can make a huge difference for that aspect of how your skin responds to things, and also can make a huge difference in just your compliance. If you don't care for the way things feel, they're sticky, they're greasy, unpleasant to use, you're not going to use them. All right, moving on to another one that is a budget-friendly find, but you may not be able to get it depending on where you live. So sorry about that, but I gotta mention it because it's really good. It's the Kroger Shimmer Sunscreen. This is an organic sunscreen, so all chemical. It is tinted, so it gives you a little bit of protection from visible light, or it may give you protection from visible light, I should say, from the iron oxides, which are important for hyperpigmentation. It has niacinamide in there, so that's good for evening out skin complexion with, anti-redness, anti-hyperpigmentation, and moisturizing properties, anti-inflammatory. It also doesn't leave a white cast because it's an all organic formula. Does not sting around the eyes for me, but some people have told me in the comments that they found it did sting their eyes, whereas other people say it didn't cause any problems. So be aware of that. It's under $10, which these days is like a super duper steal. I don't even think you can buy a bag of apples for $10 anymore. Neutrogena's Pure Screen Plus. This is a tinted water-resistant mineral sunscreen, 4 different shades. This is an all mineral one. And I think they did such an excellent job on this sunscreen in terms of creating a formula that is not chalky or casty. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee it will not leave a cast on someone, but you have a variety of shades to choose from. And I do think overall they balanced out the pigments in these really well. So they are nice formulas. They look really good on the skin, easy to apply. Great if you're very sensitive. They're not greasy, they're not oily. They don't look shiny on the skin. They are water resistant, so if you live somewhere humid and tropical, these are a great option as well. And last but not least, I cannot say enough good things about Dermatology's Universal Tint SPF 46 sunscreen. This also has niacinamide. It is hands down one of the best sunscreens I have ever encountered. And it gets a lot of thumbs up across comments, reviews from people that I've, recommended it to, that it is, a holy grail. Doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone, but it is a great option. It's a hybrid sunscreen, so that means it has mineral actives and chemical actives, and I find these types of sunscreens are kind of a nice happy medium between, they're not a no-cast sunscreen, but they're not as casty as an all-mineral sunscreen. They also are, they have organic, aka chemical filter ingredients in them, but in contrast to many all-chemical sunscreens, they're a little bit less likely, in my experience, to burn or sting sensitive skin. So I just find they're a nice happy medium. And this particular product is, for me, a pleasure to use. This is like one of my all-time favorites. The tint on this and the Neutrogena one, as well as the Kroger one, they're not orangey. They're not peachy. All right, y'all, that's the roundup. I really hope this video was helpful to you in terms of navigating the world of combination skin. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.